All right, guys. So I stumbled across a woke, crazy, super leftist TikTok that I had to respond to, right? And one of the reasons why I'm responding to it is because I recently did a video about the drama that had happened maybe like a month or two ago involving Fresh and Fit, and how these guys came out and said that they didn't want to date black women, right? They don't want to date black women, right? They don't like black girls.
About the black dating app called Black.
Oh, it's funny. I never used that one, bro. But hey, man.
I mean, hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it, man.
LaQuisha.
Yeah, like me and Fresh aren't really down with the brown like that.
Man.
We ain't night riders.
Nah,
so
bro, I'm good.
Sometimes if they're, red bone, but like in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark, if you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay, and the internet got all bent out of shape because of it. Okay, it's definitely not something that I would have said. Okay, because I don't really discriminate based off race. But I basically said, look, I'm not defending these guys, but at the same time, I don't understand the outrage when people say they just don't want to date a certain group of people, right? I think that you have the right to say, hey, when it comes to dating and who I want to be with, I can discriminate against whoever I want to discriminate against for whatever reason. And that doesn't necessarily make you a phobe. It doesn't make you racist. It doesn't make you any of that. You just have certain preferences, right? So this video right here of this TikToker, I don't know if this person is transgender or not, but they look to be a biological male wearing a wig and a tiara. So again, I'm not sure, right? I got questions, but regardless, this person is gonna make an argument that basically if you don't want to date trans women, then therefore you are transphobic. Take a look.
So if the only reason you don't want to date someone boils down to the fact that they're trans, that's transphobia right there. Let's go over a couple of situations. So if you don't want to date a trans woman because you want kids, well, you better be keeping that same attitude with cis women who are infertile, or that's transphobia. If you don't want to date a trans woman because you're not attracted to trans women, I would absolutely love to know how you're able to identify correctly who is a trans woman on site 100% of the time, because that is just impressive. I wish I had that ability. I'd love to be able to have even more trans solidarity. And then also just being super straight is the all lives matter of sexualities. It's not a real sexuality. It literally is just something that's made up to make fun of trans people and to hate on trans people. So, yes, super straights, I don't respect you and I don't respect that sexuality. Bye.
All right, so there's a lot to kind of break down there, okay? Basically, this person's argument that is, if you don't want to date a trans person, right, a trans woman or whatever, then you are, in fact, a transphobe, okay? And they go through numerous examples to basically prove that you're a transphobe, okay, if you don't want to date a trans person. First, they say, well, if you don't want to date a trans woman because you want kids, then you got to keep that same energy when it comes to infertile biological women, or else you're a transphobe. And I'm like, no, that doesn't make you a transphobe, because biological women are not trans women, right? So that doesn't really apply. It has nothing to do with being transgender at that point, right? If your reason is simply because you want kids, then biological women who are infertile are by definition excluded, right? They're excluded by definition. Again, it has nothing to do with being trans, okay, or transphobia, right? The next example that this person pointed out here was that, hey, if you don't want to date a trans woman because you're not attracted to them, then they would like to know, how in the world do you identify a trans woman on the spot, right? And I'm like, listen, a lot of the times it's not very hard to, figure out, okay? Because most likely, men who are straight, right, or super straight, we're going to get into that in a little bit, they're probably not going to be attracted to women with masculine features, okay? And trans women, because they're biological males, they tend to have more masculine features. And if a woman has more masculine features, there's going to be some red flags that go up. Doesn't automatically mean that they're trans, but I'm just saying, most males are going to be like, there might be a little bit more going on here, right? So yeah, sometimes you can identify on the spot. Like, for example, this person's video, I could identify on the spot, right? That would not be a person that I would be attracted to, because I'm not attracted to masculine looking women. So therefore, I'm not going to be attracted to trans women. But there are some trans women out there that look just like women, right? You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. So yeah, with that being said, just with basic information, then yes, it is possible for somebody who otherwise wouldn't be, okay, to be attracted to a trans woman. However, once you learn that that person is a trans woman, or that they still have a penis or whatever, then yeah, at that point, the attractiveness goes away, because I have all the information I need to make a decision, right, on whether or not I'm actually attracted to that person, okay? Because straight males are not attracted to biological men. So once I learned that you are a biological man, then the attractiveness goes out the window, right? Just knowing that information is like, no, this person's not attracted to me anymore. It's really that simple. It's not that hard to figure out. And that is my right, okay? That doesn't make me transphobic. It just means that I don't want to date somebody that has a penis or that is a biological male, period. Doesn't mean I'm going to discriminate against you when it comes to getting a job or when it comes to any other aspect of life outside of dating preferences, which I feel like it is perfectly okay to be discriminatory, right? And if that makes me a transphobe, then you know what? Hey, I'm just a transphobe, damn it. Just because I don't, want to date a trans woman, right? I don't want to date, somebody that may or may not have a penis. I mean, again, if that is what really makes me a transphobe, at some point, I'm going to stop arguing with you and trying to convince you that, I'm not a transphobe, even though I know I'm not. At some point, I'm just going to be like, hey, you know what? No matter what I say, you're going to think I'm a transphobe. But I'm not backing down from, hey, I'm just not attracted to people with penises, right? Let's use your terminology, okay? And then the part of the video, my favorite part of the video, that I found to be absolutely fascinating, is how this person goes after people who identify as super straight, right? Now, if you guys don't know what super straight is this sexual identity that has come up because, there are, people that say, hey, trans women are women, right? So now, in response to that, there are men out here that are saying, no. If that's the case, then I'm super straight. Super straight lets you know that not only am I just attracted to women, I'm only attracted to biological women, right? You have to make that differentiation for people to understand, right? You have to be clear about that, right? Now, the ideology of super straight has been attacked as hateful because it is exclusionary to trans people, right? It came about literally to say, hey, I don't want to date trans people, okay? And again, people call this hate speech. When I'm like, every sexual identity by definition is exclusionary, right? If I identify as gay, which I don't, okay? But if I did, then that means that I'm excluding women. I don't want to date women, which I do, but I'm just saying, if I was gay, I would want to date women, okay? Does that mean that I hate women? No. Does that mean that I'm afraid of women? No. Which is the definition of having a phobia, is having a fear of something. I'm not afraid of men, just like I'm not afraid of trans people, okay? It simply just means I don't want to date that person, right? I'm not attracted to these type of people. It's really that simple. It is exclusionary by definition. So in my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with identifying as super straight to say, no, I simply want to be with a biological woman only. And also what I found funny here and very hypocritical is when this person says that super straight is not a real sexuality, that is made up. And I'm like, okay, well, if somebody was to say that your sexual identity or your gender orientation is made up, that would be hate speech. But you can say that somebody else's sexuality is made up, okay? You're totally fine with that, right? And people like this person right here have basically told us that, hey, all these different genders and sexualities that are popping up out of nowhere, right? All those things are legit because you feel like it's legit, right? As long as people feel like it's legit, then it's legit. So if people feel like they're super straight, then they should be super straight, right? That doesn't make it illegitimate, right? This is their argument, right? This is their argument. This is what they say. Now, with that being said, back to the beginning of this video, okay? Where I basically pointed out how people get upset when people say, hey, I don't want to date somebody based off race. And people call people who discriminate against people based off race racist, right? And I said, that is the exact same argument that people like this guy or girl, whatever you want to call them, use to say that people are transphobic, right? because they don't want to date somebody based off the fact that they're trans. It's the exact same argument. It's the exact same argument. Okay? So those people out here that are quick to jump to call people racist because of who they want to date based off their race, you have to accept this guy's argument and say, well, you're also a transphobe if you don't want to date somebody that's transgender, right? It's the exact same thing. And this is why, I find the whole conversation about who people want to date and their dating preferences and people's decisions to discriminate against people based off their preferences. I find that conversation to be so silly, okay? Because I think people have the right to say, hey, this is what I'm sexually attracted to. This is what I want to do with my body. And this is my choice when it comes to who you want to be with, who you want to lay down with, okay? Again, these same people are all about my body, my choice until it comes to being able to sleep with who you want to sleep with. At that point, it's not about your body, your choice. It becomes about the other person's feelings and them getting upset because you don't want to sleep with them or you don't want to get married to them or you don't want to date them, right? All of a sudden, these people are now pro forcing people to sleep with them and to be with them, right? Regardless of whether or not that person actually really wants to be with them, okay? It's kind of funny how that works. My body, my choice until it comes to, certain things in our society like mandates and sexual preferences, right? Again, the left really, really, really kills me sometimes with some of the arguments that they make. They really do. But like I said, man, this whole conversation about what people are attracted to, it's so silly in my opinion. Okay, people have the right to discriminate and to be attracted to whoever they want to be attracted to, and they shouldn't be judged for it or called a phobe or racist or whatever simply because they have a preference. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.